I'll be right down. Could use the warm-up.
Let's start with some basic strikes. Hit me. Don't be shy. Couldn't have done that better myself. You'll want to get in under my block. Find the weak point. Couldn't have done that better myself. Couldn't have done that better myself. Quick on your feet now. You want to create distance. That's it. Just like that.
Right. Gear in order? Know enough not to punch yourself in the face or get shot for pulling out a gun too early? Brilliant. I'm working out how we find Zero Day and ruin their day, but I need someone with actual legs to do the legwork. Hope you're ready.
We have some damage control to do if we want to change the perception that we're a bunch of violent thugs. I'll let you be the judge of how best to handle yourself, but remember, you represent DedSec now.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Upload. We're talking about the optic and how it's changed our lives. Now, as you remember, Bloom announced a new version of the optic at the recent Tone conference, but we haven't heard too much about that since due to the dramatic events there. Let's cast our minds back and consider the technology. I mean, the optic changed everything. It lets you see things in AR. You no longer need a smartphone. You just have the small implant that sends signals to your optic nerve and lets you see your emails, take calls, and browse the internet directly as if the screen was in front of your eyes. Instead of having to carry around a phone, you've just got the small handheld unit. So much lighter and so much more convenient. It's great.
Vicky, you sound like you absolutely love the optic. Do you actually think that it's made our lives any better?
I mean, sure, it's definitely made things a lot easier. It's so simple to call someone now. All you have to do is choose who you want to chat to, and they're there, ready to talk. And browsing the web is so much easier. I remember when you used to have to sit down at a computer with an actual keyboard and mouse and type everything out. And my favourite feature is public transport. With the optic, you can just walk straight onto the tube. It even acts as a passport. No longer do I have to dig around and try and find my old paper passport just to travel somewhere. Also, I thought that Optic's marketing strategy, making it free for people, was a stroke of genius.
Genius. Bloom was really calculated when it was doing that. It was pushing this draconian device on us at all. Sure, everybody flocked to it. There was free Wi-Fi and phone plans. That definitely helped, but it wasn't a case of this is a product that you need in your life.
Why do you hate it so much?
It's just the worst because you had to give up your privacy expectations and accept surveillance. It was almost like the government and Bloom didn't even need to make the optic mandatory. Making it mandatory was only to get the last holdouts across the line. If free data didn't convince you, fines and arrests from the state for not having the optic would pretty much be enough.
I mean, what do you mean by privacy problems? No one really talks about that anymore.
They don't talk about it because we don't have any choice when it comes to the optic. Yes, it's convenient and mandatory, but everybody's forgotten what it really means. Here, you've got a whole company owning basically all the data about your life. Bloom can see everything that you can see. Nothing is private anymore. There are so many times when I don't want anyone to have a clue about where I am, who I'm chatting with, what I'm doing. It's not even dodgy stuff, but I just don't want anybody to blackmail me with this in the future by hacking it. And because of Bloom's contracts with the government, it isn't just Bloom that can see everything I do, it's the government. The UK as a state has become a complete surveillance paradise.
I think you're painting a bit of a bleak picture. It's not all that bad.
No, you're completely wrong on this. I don't want everybody tracking me wherever I'm going around London.
Well, in that case, you might be interested in some rumours I heard. Did you hear that some DedSec hackers have found a way to bypass the Optic's connection with Bloom?
Are they actually making it better or usable or actually friendly for anybody?
Well, word on the street is that they've been able to create an encrypted signal, which means that your world might have a chance of becoming a bit more private again, so you could go back and enjoy all the great things about Optic without that fear of surveillance.
With the Optic, privacy's dead.
Why does this always bloody happen? I think we should all just relax.
Okay, where do we begin?
Make no mistake, London is under occupation. Armed mercenaries patrol our streets, allegedly to keep people safe, but really they're keeping the people scared.
No wonder Albion has so much power. They've scared people into submission.
So, we have to ignite the will to resist in the people of London by showing them that Albion aren't the solution. They're the problem.
For that, we'll need information. I'm pushing 2 sets of coordinates to your Optic.
Cheers, Bagley. I've identified 2 opportunities. 1, we're going to disrupt some Albion propaganda. Remind the people it's not Albion's way or the highway. 2, we need intel about Albion operations if we want to throw a spanner in their plans. You game?
You bet. Let's give people something to fight for.
Brilliant. Let's get the people of London on board.
Why is this happening to me right now? I can't believe this is happening. Seriously, what is going on? Rude, yeah?
Whoa, just be cool, okay? You think that politicians want to fix anything? Just calm down.
Could you not be right there?
Just calm down.
Away from me!
My business. Just take it. Go home and suck your father's dick, you inbred trash. You don't want to listen. Fine. Whatever.
I just can't handle this right now. I refuse to put up with this. Really?
This
Hey,
is a shithole.
you!
Why am I even
Hey,
here?
I said hey! Could you back up, yo?
Did you get dressed in the dark or something?
A bit rude, yeah? Why does this always no! I refuse to... Yo, how things, my brother?
Hello, happy to see you. I think we should all just relax.
Seriously, come on!
Hey, chill out.
Hey. Pretty cool of me, yeah?
Usually I never lose my head like that.
Yo, what you said?
Usually I never lose my head like that.
Stay
This
indoors
is
when
bullshit.
possible. It is your duty to maintain order.
How you doing? You alright?
Can't handle what I'm doing. Otherwise, we put away for things like thousands of songs.
Back office is none of your business.
Hi.
Albion personnel are authorized to use force. Always comply promptly to instructions.
Thanks.
check.
Think you mistook me for something. What else there, pal?
Building a resistance group requires operatives with specialized skills. Technical abilities, firearms handling, and physical training are all valuable. Bare-knuckle boxing rings are a good place to find people who are good at throwing punches, or taking them. By defeating each opponent in an arena, you'll have an opportunity to face its best fighter. Prove your physical superiority, and they may consider joining DedSec. I'm guessing that's some sort of primate society thing. Alright, let's just say this is physical coordination training. I'll keep track of your score.
Well, that happened. Oh, crap. That could have been better. That could have been better. Well, that happened. Oh, crap. Well, that happened. Who's the queen? That's right, it's me. Spectacular, new best. This is how you do it. There, I did it. That could have been better.
The demands of being a DedSec operative are all consuming, so taking app gigs is a good way to make some extra quid that works around your new schedule. Lots of people will pay well to have their sensitive packages handled with care, and some will even pay you for deliveries. Ha ha!
Did I do? Huh?
Okay. Wait! Put that down!
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. With me, Tash. It's hard to believe that there could be shortages of food and medicine in an advanced country like ours. And yet, here we are. Those old government promises of adequate food turned out to be just another lie. Today we're short of basic foodstuffs and vital medical supplies. Hundreds have already died of conditions that could be easily cured. The black market means that criminal gangs like Clan Kelly run our cities. And Prime Minister Dev Hassani isn't even around to pretend to care. How do we go
Auto
from
drive
consumer
now
paradise
enabled.
to a place of empty shelves and fighting for supplies? What turns a land of plenty into a wild west of hoarding, food battles and black market barons? We protect everyone who comes on the podcast by keeping their identities a secret. Here's veteran political reporter Ian on the power behind shortages.
Look, I mean, what was the first thing that happened when Britain sealed itself off? Like, the first stuff that got stopped from coming in was fresh food. I mean, we could live without the fresh food. I mean, everyone's quality of life got instantly worse, but we could live without it. The most damaging part was when the radioactive isotopes stopped coming in. Now, radioactive isotopes, that's what we use in cancer screening, cancer treatment. Now, that stuff...
You have
it has
reached
a
your
short
destination.
half-life. Technetium used to save hundreds of thousands of lives just by screening cancer, let alone...
Government officials.
Albion have established an operational base in the Royal Court of Justice.
You must be joking. Do we even have a justice system anymore? I don't see how Albion owning the courts gives anyone a chance at a fair trial.
Exactly. But it likely means there's information here about how Albion are targeting dissenters, the who and the why. We need that data if we're going to disrupt their operation.
I'm sure they will understand. What?
What have you found, Bagley?
A list of what Albion consider high-value targets that are threats to the peaceful running of London. See here, a journalist, and this one runs a community shelter. Good God, bar your doors.
What the hell?
All suspected of sowing rebellion or exhibiting tendencies towards... Albion is systematically arresting people even before they rise up. Joke's on them. This list can actually help us find like-minded allies willing to help us. Well done. Now, let's disrupt some of Albion's propaganda and give some hope to the people.
I definitely heard. Looking down the spider.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. With me, Tash. It's hard to believe that there could be shortages of food and medicine in an advanced country like ours, and yet here we are. Those old government promises of adequate food turned out to be just another lie. Today we're short of basic foodstuffs and vital medical supplies. Hundreds have already died of conditions that could be easily cured. The black market means that criminal gangs like Clan Kenny run our cities. And Prime Minister Dev Hassani isn't even around to pretend to care. How do we go from a consumer paradise to a place of empty shelves and fighting for supplies? What turns a land of plenty into a wild west of hoarding, food battles and black market barons? We protect everyone who comes on this podcast by keeping their identities a secret. Here's veteran political reporter Ian on the power behind change.
Individuals inciting and promoting. You have been. internal corporate drones is prohibited. If you witness unauthorized hacking, report the incident immediately. Failure to report an incident could result in arrest.
That'll get people's attention. Let them know someone is standing up to Albion. Light the spark that they can stand up to.
If nothing else, it'll relieve their eye strain.
What now?
We're already seeing results from what you've done. That list we found named a journalist in Camden who's been investigating Albion. We reached out and he's got information that can help us. I think you should meet with him.
Send me the location, please.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. With me, Tash. It's hard to believe that there could be shortages of food and medicine in an advanced country like ours, and yet here we are. Those old government promises of adequate food turned out to be just another lie. Today we're short of basic foodstuffs and vital medical supplies. Hundreds have already died of conditions that could be easily cured. The black market means that criminal gangs like Clan Kelly run our cities. And Prime Minister Dev Hassani isn't even around to pretend to care. How do we go from a consumer paradise to a place of empty shelves and fighting for supplies? What turns the land of...
Right, let's find out what's it's then. Just about there.
Just in time.
I want to hear that energy, folks. I want to hear the love and the hate. Get hype. The fighters step into the limelight. Take a look at those faces. Place your bets and strap the fuck in. Fucking wild blow, oh my god. Now that's what I'm talking about. Solid strike from a solid fighter. An unbelievable blow. Don't know how anyone will come back from that. A solid hit. That's the shit we like to see. Am I right, people, or what? Almost knocked their teeth right out. Oh, I can taste the tension in here. Our fighters are ready, are you?
You should lie down.
You'd
Now.
better be. Bets are closed and we're ready to roll. Oh, shit! And that's a solid blow there. Oh, that is right fucking hurt. We're back at it again, folks. The only game in town worth your time. Society's crumbling, institutions fumbling. Come and see a couple of fighters take it out on each other. Oh shit! Could that be the win right now? Did you all see that monster hit on the stream? Fucking hell! Now that's entertainment, and one massive blow to our fighter.
If you've got the gut.
That's what happens when you're shit. Give it up for the real embodiments of chaos itself. Actual faction. Start spamming that chat. These two don't give a monkeys about the rules, and neither do we.
All right then, let's go.
Hope you're ready to bleed.
They're getting murdered in there.
Well, this will be a nice, easy warm-up.
And that's a hit. One for the record books. Oh, they're gonna feel that hit in the morning if they wake up.
Wait, come here and show me what you got.
Just like a proper live highlight reel. Oh my God! What absolutely disgusting! Oh, they're gonna feel that hit in the morning if they wake up. Almost knocked their teeth right out. Hope you didn't bet on the wrong fighter. That's how it goes in BKL. Expect the unexpected.
Auto drive now enabled.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. With me, Tash. It's hard to believe that there could be shortages of food and medicine in an advanced country like ours, and yet here we are. Those old government promises of adequate food turned out to be just another lie. Today we're short of basic foodstuffs and vital medical supplies. Hundreds have already died of conditions that could be easily cured. The black market means that criminal gangs like Clan Kenny run our cities. And Prime Minister Dem Pasani isn't even around to pretend to care. How do we go from a consumer paradise to a place of empty shelves and fighting for supplies? What turns a land of plenty into a wild west of hoarding, food battles and black market barons? We protect everyone who comes on the podcast by keeping their identities a secret. Here's veteran political reporter Ian on the power behind shortages.
Look, I mean, what was the first thing that happened when Britain sealed itself off? Like, the first stuff that got stopped from coming in was fresh food. I mean, we could live without the fresh food. I mean, everyone's quality of life got instantly worse, but we could live without it. The most damaging part was when
You
the
have
radioactive
reached your
isotopes
destination.
Now, radioactive isotopes, that's what we use in cancer screening, cancer treatment. Now, that stuff, it has a short half-life. Technetium used to save hundreds of thousands of lives just by screening for cancer, let alone testing for cancer. But that stuff has a half-life of 60,000. There was a moment before it took place when actually there was a message trying to stop fire.
Keep your distance, cockwomble.
I heard you need some help. What can I do?
You're the crew that's been sticking it to Albion. Can't believe someone else is. Thought I was alone, right? Not doing much, just putting the word out. But you? Taking action, mate.
We don't have a choice, do we? Otherwise, Albion will get more powerful, and then we really won't stand a chance against them. You said you had something for us.
Almost got clip finding this. All of Albion's operational data for the entire city. Convoy routes, surveillance targets, assets. It's all there. Thinking you can make good use of that.
Can't ask for more.
Here's a sample. Albion's closed King's Cross to the public, right? But what people don't know is that they're using it as their logistics centre. Materials, troops, whatever. A lot of it runs through there. You want to give the people a huge boost? Hit that place. Put it out of commission, and you'll severely hamstring Albion's operations here in Camden. Hell, everywhere.
Guess that's where we start, huh?
Albion's operational plans are just what we needed to really get some traction. We'll have to take a close look at this. Now, how do we take King's Cross offline?
Albion's housed a massive hybrid power generator in there. Output must be immense. You cause a power surge in that beast and boom.
Wait, I thought you said the place was closed to the public. How would you know this information?
It cost me a news drone. Okay, maybe 3, but it's worth it if this comes off, right? Getting to that generator ain't gonna be easy. They've locked it up tighter since I last saw.
Guys, ideas?
My news drones are still in here. They should be functional. You can use one of them. Probably have better luck piloting it too, yeah?
Well, causing a power surge in a hybrid power generator isn't like making a toasty. We're going to need detailed specifications.
Let's have a look. Have a look at this.
Cool, looks bloody complicated. Newsy's got a pretty functional camera. Would a picture do you, Bagley?
It would indeed. According to this, there's an override code that'll get us into the generator's system. That's it. Use the code on the generator and I can trigger a power surge.
There should be enough to take King's Cross offline, and the rail system too. Here we go.
We got a gold mine of information out of St. Pancras. Albion convoys, informants, gear, you name it. Everything we need to ignite the people of London, like we did in Camden. Derail Albion's operations and give the people a reason to rise up, borough by borough. The more we do that, the more we'll get allies flocking to the cause. We'll show London that DedSec is here for them.
That was off the chain, mate. I knew DedSec weren't the bad guys Albion was saying. Now the rest of Camden will too. Thanks.
Thank you.
Now that you've shown the borough what DedSec is really all about, there are going to be folks wanting to join up. A lot of people have been looking for a way to fight back. In fact, there's one in particular I suspect will contact you very soon. I happen to know they're champing at the bit.
The more the better. DedSec could use the help. You joining us is totally awesome. Welcome to DedSec.
Yeah, this is gonna be real. Let's do it.
Brilliant.
Well, fuck me, you're still alive. I owe Sabine a tenner. Not only that, but your resistance handiwork just opened up a whole new source of information. So now I spy with my hypothetical eye something interesting at the Ministry of Civic Management.
What is it?
The Signals Intelligence Response Service, or SIRS, or the Earl Grey Gestapo, have developed a surveillance technology called AR Reconstruction. It's the bleeding edge of privacy rights violation, and thus it could be very useful in our attempts to find Zero Day.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. With me, Tash. It's hard to believe that there could be shortages of food and medicine in an advanced country like ours, and yet here we are. Those old government promises of adequate food turned out to be just another lie. Today we're short of basic foodstuffs and vital medical supplies, Hundreds have already died of conditions that could be easily cured. The black market is in world cities. And Prime Minister Dev Hassani isn't even around to pretend to care. How do we go from consumer paradise to a place of empty shelves and fighting for supplies? What turns a land of plenty into a wild west of hoarding, food battles and black market barons? We protect everyone who comes on the podcast by keeping their identities a secret. Here's veteran political reporter Ian on the power behind shortages.
Look, I mean, what was the first thing that happened when Britain sealed itself off? The first stuff that got stopped from coming in was fresh food. I mean, we could live without the fresh food. I mean, everyone's quality of life got instantly worse, but we could live without it.
Let's wait around and see if our dance opponent shows up.
Cancer screening, cancer treatment. Now that stuff, it has a short half-life. Techniques.
Based on their social media rantings, our prospect won't respect anyone who can't beat them in a game of darts, which I suppose is perfectly doable, even if it is a bit low stakes.
Care for a game of darts?
All right, let's see what you've got.
Come on! I'll get you next time. I'm serious.
You saw it! Wow! Yes!
Oh well, better luck next time.
You're listening to the bar.
Vomiting and headaches. Hello, Britain.
This is the bug, the show that holds up a mirror to the world and smashes itself on the head with it in despair. I'm Andy, joining me, as always, Alice. And,
everything.
good state of existence. Some good news.
We should sort these things up.
No medicine shortages, according to the government. None at all. There have been various allegations about that. It turns out they are all fake news. There are no shortages of medicine. Don't take it from me. I'm not a medical supply expert. Take it from our beloved government. It's fine. In fact, I'm going to read between the lines here. There's too much medicine, if anything. Just medicines. You can't move the medicine. In fact, just this morning, I tried to pour some cornflakes into a bowl for breakfast and out-tumbled a 12-month course of immunosuppressants, corticosteroids, and anti-retrofungal neurodilatory estrogen sperma.
If you think this is good for your morale, I'm not going to judge it out loud.